story begins with the main protagonist getting bullied by 3 people. His name is Woo Jin Kim. He states that he hates the world. He was abandoned since he was a child and he was always treated like an animal. This was not the first time that he was attacked by the bullies. He had enough of being weak, so he decided to stand up for himself. He punches one of the bullies in the face, which knocks him instantly out. He realizes that he's not so bad at fighting, so he punches the other 2 bullies as well. While fighting, he hears a strange noise from the sky. He doesn't give it any attention and he continues fighting. In the sky appears a dungeon with various monsters coming out of it. The monsters begin attacking the citizens. The dragons are attacking buildings from the sky, while the goblins are eating humans at the ground. After a while, the whole city was destroyed and many people died. With the appearance of the monsters, divine beings called Nimbus appeared as well. They were blue and big. They gave some people a special power named Authority. These people saw themselves as the chosen ones, since only a small group of people were granted this power. They were awakened as a player, the only humans who could destroy the dungeons. Every player who unlocked this power had a screen floating in front of them. They were seen as heroes by the citizens. People believed that the ones who had the special power could save the world. However, the players who had the special power used it for their own benefit. Woo Jin Kim didn't trust any person in this world. He realized that humans could not be trusted, even after such an incident. Until he met him, a player that was strong, reliable and had a vision. He was surrounded by a lot of players. Since he was a good person in general and was a born leader, he became the guild master of one of the strongest guilds. His name was Sun Jun Lee, the first to become a player among 7 people. The Nimbus gave their power away in a specific order. He became one of the first players, which apparently says a lot about his power level. He was considered the world's strongest player, and he decided to use his power for the weaker ones. He was always on the front line in the dungeons. He did research in the dungeons while killing the monsters inside of it. His sword was unmatched, and the players beside him could always trust him. Although he made a lot of money by clearing the dungeons, he had a vision to end this sick game. He states that the game will end if he beats the final boss. He inspires Woo Jin Kim with the promises he makes to the citizens. These were the words Woo Jin Kim always wanted to hear from a player. He finally trusts someone. He decided that he wanted to join the Messiah Guild. So he did. Along the way, he meets all his new comrades. They see each other as family, and they cleared a lot of dungeons together. They're finally at a dungeon with a boss room, so they give it their all. They strategize their attacks well, and they beat all the monsters very quickly. After finishing the last monster, they decided to take a break. While celebrating their victory, Woo Jin Kim realizes that they might be able to save the world. They are preparing to go to the last room, which is the boss room. Woo Jin Kim walks with Si Jun Lee to the gate. At the gate, Si Jun Lee announces that this is the last battle. But not for him. The last battle for Woo Jin Kim. It takes some time for Woo Jin Kim to realize what Si Jun Lee is saying. He hears an attack coming towards him, but it's too late to react. Si Jun Lee swung his sword and pierces through the body of Woo Jin Kim. He does not realize what is happening yet. Si Jun Lee tells him that he was not able to reach this level without him. Woo Jin Kim then falls to the ground and tries to minimize the damage that is done to him. He asks Si Jun Lee if this was his plan from the start. He could barely get this question out of his mouth. Even if this was Si Jun Lee's plan all along, why on earth would he do this? Shinye Park was laughing at him for not knowing what was going on all along. They explained to Kim Woo Jin that the dungeons and the items will disappear if they kill the final boss. The players will not have special powers anymore. Without their powers, the citizens will not obey the players anymore. They reveal that their end goal is not to help the weaker ones, but they want to rule the world. Kim Woo-jin cries her name in disbelief, and he realizes that this is the last chance to say something to them. As Sun Jun Lee watches him slowly die, Kim Woo-jin gets filled with anger. He looks up and sees the scary faces of Sun Jun Lee and Shie Park. He tries to spare all the power he has in order to survive, but he knows it's useless, so he desperately cries out Sun Jun Lee's name with everything he's got. This makes him even weaker, and the poison of the sword flows through his body. This results in coughing up blood on the ground. He can see his own blood clearly now. There is smoke coming off his own blood. That is the after effect of the poison. This indicates that Kim Woo-jin is one of the stronger players now. The opponents of Sun Jun Lee usually die by the damage of the sword itself. No one had survived until the after effect yet. Shin Ye Park tells Kim Woo-jin that no one of the others have seen the after effect yet. This makes Kim Woo-jin wonder who the others were. He does not want to believe that it might be the other guild members. He did not only care about Sun Jun Lee and Shin Ye Park. Along the way, every guild member became his friend. He feels betrayed, and he remembers why he didn't trust anyone for such a long time. He tells Sun Jun Lee that he was the only one he trusted with saving the world. He told Sun Jun Lee about the bonds all the guild members built with each other. He gets very angry since everything he had risked was for nothing. He asks to verify if all the other guild members are already dead. Shin Ye Park praises him sarcastically, telling him that he noticed pretty quickly. They tell Kim Woo-jin that all the players that stood in their way are now gone. Also the player, which is known as the Undead King, is not able to stand in their way. Kim Woo-jin shouts Si Jun Lee's name again. He demands an excuse out of his shitty mouth, but Sun Jun Lee does not bother to react to it. He has no power left, so he falls to the ground and dies. He wants to get revenge on Sun Jun Lee and Shin Ye Park so bad, but he knows it won't happen. He reflects on his life and concludes there was no one to trust in the end anyway. And that's how Kim Woo-jin died. He does not notice the message box floating in front of him. He loses consciousness, but wakes up to the message that's saying that the game is just starting yet. The sound of the message wakes him up, and he sees a tunnel with light on the end. He hears a car sound and he does not know where he is. He is in a truck which drives at full speed. His consciousness is back, but he does not know what is happening to him. He still remembers everything that just had happened, but he does not understand the situation he is in now. His body doesn't even hurt, even though he definitely remembers that he had been killed. So he checks his body for any kind of wounds. He touches the place of the body where he just had been pierced through by the sword. He asks himself if he's dreaming now. He recognizes the people that he's on the truck with. These are not his guild members, but they are people he met in the past. They are driving so hard that it looks like they are trying to flee from something. The driver notices something ahead of the road. He cannot stop in time, so he uses the brakes a bit too hard. He tries to dodge and hit the brake at the same time. This doesn't go very well. This results in the truck crashing. They have nowhere to run to now, so they have to fight. The driver is shocked by the amount of enemies in front of him. He sees green orcs, almost 3 or 4 times as big as them. They are killing people and crushing cars. They now have their eyes on the truck. The driver is shouting for help and telling everyone to get their weapons ready. They're jumping out of the truck and immediately want to attack the orcs. The orcs are noticing them, and they also run towards the soldiers. They can run very fast, and a lot of soldiers are getting scared. The driver is hiding and telling everyone to hurry up. While he does nothing at the back, the commander takes the lead. He's giving instructions. He tells them that they should not fire unnecessarily, since they have a lack of ammo. While he is giving instructions, he hears someone already shooting. It was Woo-jin Kim, killing all of the orcs. The commander sees this as disrespectful since he was still giving instructions. But Kim Woo-jin is attacking all of the orcs by himself and he's also winning. He still had all the experience he gained at the guild, so he was very strong compared to his past self. He headshots every orc with ease. One of the strongest orcs is running towards him. He tries to crush Kim Woo-jin with his weapon, but he could dodge it without any effort. He easily ended the life of this orc also, by shooting him point blank at his chest. The orc next to the orc boss is also getting killed by Woo-jin Kim. This wasn't even a fight for him. He was testing if he still had his skills. The orcs were killed in no time and no one believed what they saw. As the last orc slowly dies, Kim Woo-jin is walking past all the dead bodies, acting as if nothing happened. The other soldiers are happy that they are alive, since they had no power to fight back due to the lack of ammo. However, they got scared of Kim Woo-jin, since they thought normal humans could not be able to do this. He looks at his hand, thinking that this might be a dream, but it feels too real to be a dream. The commander walks towards him, and he doesn't look happy at all. Instead of praising Kim Jin-woo, he gets angry for killing all the orcs. He doesn't even bother to react and walks right past him. The commander gets even angrier. He tells Kim Jin-woo that he should reply if someone is talking to him. Kim Woo-jin is sitting down, digesting everything that had happened in the past few hours. His anger towards Si Jin-lee didn't fade. He wants to get revenge, but he is shocked by a sudden sound. A box pops up, which tells him that he is a player officially now. He's shocked and realizes that this is his second chance. Usually a light screen pops up with 3 choices when you become a player, but this was not the case right now. He remembers this day. It was the day that he became a player in the past, but he sees the different choice he has right now. Another powerful skill appeared on the screen. It could be described as the power of the undead. This would make him way stronger than he was before. This was the power of the Dark World Surrogate. The one who has this skill has the ability to control various poison and curse. With this skill, you can use the undead as resources, which means he could now create an evil army with the undead. This power had a great potential. This could make him the strongest player alive. This power reminds him of the power the undead immortal king has. His name is Johan Jork. He was one of the strongest players, until he decided to join the other side. He was considered a monster, and Si Jin-lee was considered a hero. Kim Woo-jin wouldn't care if he was considered a monster. He realizes that he should be prepared for this title, since he decided he's going to hunt down the most liked heroes. He is even happy with that title, since the only thing he wants is revenge. He analyzed and researched his own powers. He cannot wait to get stronger. In his head, he's already starting to think like an evil person. The only thing that is going through his mind is killing Si Jin-lee.